Hello, I'm Jia Pei from Taiwan. My thesis design is about the blessing of the levee in Taipei. Taipei once grew through river transport, but to ensure modern development, flood control plans were implemented, trading river space for land by building concrete walls. Today, these levees stretch for a continuous 100 kilometers. Tamed into mere infrastructure, the river has become the city's blue backdrop. Is it still a living, flowing body of water? This impression is especially sharp in southern Taipei, where a cycling path is forced along the narrow, steep edge of the river. Yet, because this is upstream, the river and community are small in scale. The dense floodgates and pumping stations amplify the structural volume, localizing a grand display of human power over nature. They serve as openings in the high walls that separate city from river, yet they are also the most direct proof of how the city's water actually moves and breathes. Using water facilities as our new coordinates, I remapped the Jingmei River with flow as the main character. Today, we interact with water purely through the lens of reason, where roads and flood control systems intertwine. The city's water is no longer just a surface line, but a complex, interconnected web of processes. Lifting our perspective to the Earth's surface, we see how temples that once protected this land used to face the river. After the levees were built, they retreated behind the flood defense lines, leaving behind rituals and daily life. My chosen site holds the protective measures of both eras. The site bridges a residential area to the east and an industrial zone to the west. On the east, a pumping station is cut off from the community by a highway, leaving a void between the levee and the city. On the west, sites another pumping station and an earth god temple. The temple on the west once guarded passing boats and protected the land behind from floods, but after the concrete walls went up, it turned 180 degrees, turning its back on the river. Across the city, riverbanks are treated exactly the same, regardless of location or width. On the steep embankment of my site, city roads, bike paths, and floodgates each occupy a single elevation, leaving our view forever trapped at the exact same height. Looking at a full year of daily community and temple events versus water level changes, the site was blocked only once for pumping during heavy rain. Because our time and land use never overlap, we remain completely blind to how the flood control system works, and the river is reduced to mere background scenery for civilized city life. By reshaping this existing sacred axis, I aim to shatter our flattened impression of the river trapped behind the flood defense line. It all begins with a fold in the existing flood control line. By pushing back the flood defense line, I expanded the river's floodplain and reorganized the waterfront spaces and water facilities on both banks. This allows the flows of both water and human life to safely overlap in the same space. East side during the dry season, people enter beneath the roadway, where dense walls form small spaces for students. Open culverts create thin streams for wading. Rising over the dike, a sweeping lawn invites residents to gather and relax. Along the water, the elevated bike path catches silt, nurturing a wild green buffer as a natural boundary. In West Side, New Temple dominates the west bank, its grand plaza extending from the bike path's rhythm. In section, the pumping station is integrated beneath the temple's step, while the nearby road dips before crossing the dike. Below the plaza, two watergate outfalls open near a small platform, replacing traffic noise with the crisp sound of rushing water. During peak floods, water gates close and pumps activate. The sunken park turns into a detention basin, while the pump outlet doubles as a viewing platform, its tank overflowing down the grassy slope as a thin water curtain. On the west bank, pumps beneath the temple roar to life, discharging water onto the steps. The 30-centimeter threshold traps water around the incense burner before it spills onto the plaza and returns to the river. This spectacle occurs only once a year when the pumps roar to life. Hidden from the city, this infrastructural theater is captured fully from bridge, turning a mere crossing into the ultimate grandstand. Here, the river's respiration weaves back into daily life, transforming the ordinary landscape into a performance that manifests the raw tension of hydrological flow.